this the point where we gotta start talking about some things, right? The
Yep.
shit that's really going on the internet.
Yes.
As in, like, let's start off with Stephen A. Smith, right?
Stephen A. Smith.
In which you propositioned, you challenged him to a boxing match. Am I correct?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
part.
yeah. Because you know why? You know why? This is how I look. Look, first of all, I don't want people thinking like I'm on some bully shit with Stephen A. and it's some real, some real anger with them, or because usually, one thing about me, people, if I say something, people get in an uproar. You know what I'm saying? Because but it ain't. Listen, I'm 60, very mature. I'm actually 2 years older than Stephen A. And when Stephen A. first came out, I was a huge fan because I'm a huge sports fan. Um, ESPN had started kind of catering towards black people in the way it was reporting their news. Like with the great Stuart Scott, he was the first one to start having that lingo and really, you know, uh, the way he interpreted the sports using our slang was dope. And it's just showing how the culture, because, showing how the culture touched sports. Because when we had the Source, I came up with the Source Sports Award, and we had a Source Sports magazine because right after Iverson, the floodgates opened up. Hip hop was in sports like a motherfucker, football, basketball. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, Stephen A. When he came, I kind of felt like he carried the torch, right? When he first came, and I felt like his show was definitely. I mean, it was again. We want to. One thing about hip hop culture, what it's doing is it of course of course I don't want people to think there are some great like Mike Greenberg, great white guys I love. I watch all the sport. I don't make it black and white.
That part.
Hip hop makes it to where, you know, there's an audience. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of companies, a lot of platforms want to reach that audience. So they start catering to that audience. It's a large audience with a lot of buying power, not just audience, but buying power, advertisement, money. So yeah, man. So when Steven came out, I was all for it. And then it just seemed as time went on, man, he just started first he started before he got so political or so-called political, and before he was getting paid to come at us, you could just tell he was making it about him and not the athletes anymore. You could just kind of see that his ego is getting a little bit big, and the way he's coming across is more about him. You know, to me, it's always about the athlete. Stuart Scott always kept it about the athlete. You never, ever, ever heard Stuart Scott speak bad about an athlete. Ever. And, especially a black athlete, especially a black athlete. Um, Stephen A starts making it a point to really start going at people. I noticed that was the second phase. First phase was his ego, like okay, he's feeling himself. All right, Second phase was start going at a lot of guys, and it's one thing criticizing their game, but it's like, oh, you getting a little beside yourself. You'll make people say, well, goddamn, have you ever played basketball? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man, relax. Then he starts to the phase where he starts getting disrespectful, critical, where he just starts disrespecting these, and now he starts going to the phase where it seems like he's got paid money to go at black people, man. He goes at women for sure, black women
Jasmine
for sure.
Crockett. You want to speak about Miss
Not
Jasmine
just
Crockett?
Jasmine Crockett. Before I speak about Jasmine Crockett, we're talking about Joy Reid. We're talking about Carrie Champion, uh, almost the entire WNBA. Um, I forgot her name, man. He had to kind of clean it up, but he really she's just so slick. I forgot her name. She calls the Knicks games. She got the short haircut on ESPN, but him and her even got into it, man. Like Jasmine Crockett drew the line for me. And the reason is because, right now, man, what's going on in this country is like, I don't even know what to call it that hasn't already been said. It's just, I've been around a long time with a lot of presidents, and this guy here, he is, again, anyways, Jasmine Crockett is our one voice, our one voice. Now, there are other black Congress people, House Representatives and Senate. There are great ones. But Jasmine Crockett, absolutely is the one voice that relates to the culture. And remember, we bring it back to hip hop. Hip hop now has major influence on Jasmine culture, on Jasmine Crockett. Major influence. Of course it does. You could see it all in her. And the great thing about hip hop, it just isn't music. Oh, hip hop has been, you know, pro black liberation since day one. So it just isn't drill and you know females rapping about. I mean, yeah, that's all there too. But it's also it's a feeling, it's a lifestyle, it's a spirit, and hip hop has always held the spirit of black liberation and black
Facts.
equality and um, you know the impact that the impact that hip hop has had on our economics is you can't say enough about it. Like where would we be without hip hop?
Yeah, I
Black
agree.
people. So
I agree.
Jasmine Crockett represents that culture.
Hmm.
And for him to go with her is the last straw. Yeah,
Okay, you referred to Stephen A. Smith as a sellout.
absolutely.
You just challenged his tape line. Cause I see that you're older gentleman, and I know your tape line is intact. So you tape line
You see
Shane
how
it.
it you see how everything now we're here now to where they say, you know what, Stephen? Listen, first of all, Stephen, Pat McAfee's our guy. We really don't even need first take no more. Your numbers are like they're cool, but then we
Talk
rarely
about it. You
played you.
said the
We
numbers is
we
dwindling.
rarely played you for Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee numbers right now are doing better, but I watched it happen. They made Stephen alienate his black. Once he alienate the black, it made him number two. He'll probably be number three. Get Up's probably number two. Like, listen, I'm telling you, like they played him, and he didn't get money no more for to be a sportscaster. He got money to be a agent provocateur against the culture, and you could just see it. You could see the things he says, the way he's saying them. He doesn't even believe it. He's
Well,
just saying them
receiving extreme backlash for his, and I
as
think
he
he
should.
then he retract, not necessarily retracted, but he did some damage control with Mrs. Jasmine Crockett. I don't know if
No,
this is
no, no,
post
no,
what you said, but
no.
he
That wasn't
gave her
damage
her
control.
accolades.
He said, "Say it to my face." She called him Django. He said, "Say it to my face. Come on my show." Just, just as a man and as a black man and somebody with his platform, and he does have a certain amount of stature now. That is super irresponsible. Super irresponsible, and it's a pattern. I'm watching him. I haven't heard him speak about anything good about any black person yet. As far
I don't know
as
why he spoke about Serena like that. Also, we
oh,
spoke about
let's go,
Serena
let's
Williams
go,
about
let's go.
the crip walking
Serena
thing.
Williams.
I don't know what is this like. I don't know what's up with the public shaming with our black women. I'm kind of confused about that because I feel like we don't have no boundaries and we don't have the luxury to be shaming our own selves.
Listen. When he got paid a lot of money to do it, it's instructed. What he's doing has been instructed, and yeah, I could see it. It's this. He got paid for this. He's getting paid for this. He's getting paid to get out there and really. Now that's why he's in politics. They need somebody out there right now while this administration's going on. They need somebody out there to be the color and spit this rhetoric, and that's what he's doing. He's getting paid to do that. All that money for Stephen A. Stephen A. Smith ain't really no sportscaster. Stephen A. Smith doesn't really even know about football. Like Stephen A. Smith tells the obvious. Somebody blows a game, Stephen A. Smith will be on it tomorrow. Stephen A. thinks this of him and then Stephen A. Smith will cuss him out. Like it's the same shit. He's not even like I know for a fact, just by the body language again, of other sportscasters when he tries to talk football, they're just like, shut up. Like again, you know what I mean? So he's getting paid all the he's getting paid $100 million, $90 million salary. I mean contract to just go against America, to go against black people in America.
That part. Now, like I said, you had a lot of things. How would you say unfavoring things to say about this man? Now, what's up with the boxing match? How is that? Is that thing coming into fruition? Is that
I
even on the
mean, I mean,
table? Or is it
I
just
mean,
an offer at this point?
listen. I think me and Stephen A. Smith are the perfect match for a celebrity boxing match. He's 58. I'm 60. You feel me? Um, you know, he's like really anti hip hop. You know what I mean? He's like the anti hip
You
hop
think
guy.
so? Like you
Oh,
believe
oh,
he's anti hip
absolutely.
hop?
Anybody that zips up their sweatsuits all the way, then puts their chain out like that is anti hip hop. You're not in the culture. When
Nah, but he
you,
okay. He was on what's the name Cameron show, right?
right.
Was he on? It is what it
I don't
is.
know. I don't even know. I think he was.
I
I
think
think
he
he
was
was.
on there. So he's
Yeah.
kind of
No, no,
that's
no. I
the
mean, he has
urban
to do his
community.
rounds. Listen, it's you know what I mean. Of course, you could do your rounds. He's like Shay Shay. You can get hip hop guests, and then your people give you a bunch of questions. But these guys don't know nothing about hip hop. Same thing with Shannon Sharpe. You know, salute to Shannon Sharpe as a football player, an amazing, amazing Hall of Fame tight end for the Denver Broncos. You know, his brother played for Green Bay. You know, yeah, but he didn't grow up in the culture.
Well,
You
I
know,
would
a lot of
love to,
these guys, a lot of
I
these
would love to
guys,
him to
a lot.
sit on the other side of this mic and interview him also though. To be
But
quite
you got to
honest with you.
understand, a lot of these guys back in the day when hip hop was from the streets, you had to be in the streets and necessarily from the streets for hip hop. A lot of people's parents wasn't letting them go out there for nothing, you know, because there was an element of danger in them streets. Even though you're doing hip hop, block parties, rapping, there's still is elements of danger, drugs, guns, you know, and people getting killed, robbed, robberies. So,
Yeah.
a lot of guys went to college, and there's nothing the matter with that. But you know what I'm saying? Hip hop is a street is a street creation, and to really understand it, you don't have to be from the streets now after it's 50 years old. But I'm saying back then you had to have a connection, really connection with the streets to survive in it. And a lot of guys wasn't coming outside back then. And that was a safe haven, was athletics and college for a lot of these guys. And shit, I would want my sons the same thing. My son Taj was killing him, man, killing him in
Oh
basketball as a
yeah.
senior. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is Corey's little brother. This is my son. Destroying him. He was averaging 30 up there in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Taj Collins. He was like six something. Taj about 6'3", 6'2". I mean, yeah, man,
He's in
good look.
college currently, right? Oh, you talking about
No,
he
no, he didn't go
was.
to college. He
Okay.
chose not to, but I'm saying I wanted him to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's an amazing, great thing. I'm just saying, you know, people want to choose hip hop because it's sexier, and I'm talking back then. But these guys went to college and they wasn't around none of that street shit. So a lot of their hip hop, they might have listened here and there. I seen an interview with Shannon and Jim Jones going at it about the Nas thing, and really Shannon couldn't even though I was agreeing with Shannon in the premise, but it was a premise, it was a narrative. Shannon didn't even couldn't even name a Nas song. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Couldn't even name the title of a Nas
yeah.
song, man.
Yeah. Now you know that shit was like that whole Nas and Jimmy, that shit ain't really leave. The Nas and Jimmy thing, it didn't really get that far. It didn't grow legs. People immediately was not in agreement with that.
Well, you gotta understand New York, like, okay, first of all, New York has got away from hip hop and really more into the podcasting. I mean, the audience, New York is a New York, you don't understand the advantage you can have in New York because of how many people are in New York. So if you're from New York and you got a brand and you got a following, you could eat just out for New York. And I think New York over the years has gotten away from the music, and they're leaning more towards the podcasting, the gossip, the stuff that's anything outside the music. And I think that's kind of hurt New York's music wise. Still a lot of amazing artists up there. Don't get me wrong. New York's the Mecca. We know that. My family, that's where I started, 11 years old, South Bronx, Cedar Avenue, Fordham Road, but I just think now, as I see it, it's just the emphasis is more on um, podcasting and just what I mean. It's just it's a different energy in New York when it comes to hip hop than when it was when I grew up, 80s, 90s. It's a different, it was all about the music. Period. The standard was high. It was a high standard. It just wasn't, you just couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And that was a beautiful time, man. And it was about the music. People, you know what I mean? Now it's not really, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when you look at New York and you look at the top people in New York, it's just New York. you would always have to write your own raps. That was a rule. Absolutely. You know, you could not have a room full of writers and be the top artist in New York. He might have got away with a song, but as far as the top artists, nah, man, we talking Jay, Nas, Biggie, we talking, and we can go LL, we talking guys that are fucking, we can go on and on. You know, there's so many. But, you know, I think that's what New
But
York
who you
got
referring
away
to?
from.
You sound like you alluding to somebody.
Not
Is there
necessarily
somebody you want to
alluding, not
mention?
necessarily alluding. It's just it's now where hip hop is like the labels have the money. They just need they know the importance of social media and the internet, and they want images more than they want music. They can just grab somebody with the right image and the right clicks and comments and the right following, and then shit, sit them in a fucking room with artists. And of course, women have that advantage because everything they go off is looks. So you know what I'm saying? You know, you get somebody that got a flow, and then you stick them in a room with a bunch of writers. And you getting all the dopest producers from around the world because labels have a big, you know, uh, big like a whole uh, I mean, group of
I
fucking
think I think
producers that can give her anything like she wants or him anything he wants. So and then New York kind of went away from the spitting to the like what's
but
hot now.
we gotta give credit now. We can't forget Pop Smoke.
I'm saying,
We can't forget all the indictments
nah,
and the younger
look at,
generation, the
rest in
new New
peace to Pop
Yorkers that are
Smoke.
like doing their thing and they getting indicted and killed. They're not
Rest
even
in,
having a chance to come and fully mature and reach their
yeah,
full
but
potential.
that's the problem. That's the problem of this generation in hip hop. Because now that's a whole different problem. Now,
Look
if
at
you want to
Bobby
go there,
Smurder.
if you
Look
want
at
to go
K
there,
Flock. Look at
you got these young guys that don't have no type of guidance or somebody in their crew that they gonna listen to. You know what I'm saying? Because once they get all that money, then you know what I'm saying, then all hell breaks loose, chaos, confusion, and they're not making the right decisions because getting money in itself, I don't give a fuck what you do. Doesn't even you don't have to be rapping. Whatever the money brings, getting money itself is a whole protocol and a whole blueprint of how you have to be with money, especially if you in the hood. There's a whole list of things you need to be worried about. Fuck 48 laws of power. Just these rules and regulations of what you should do when you
yo, it's
have money
crazy.
and how you should carry yourself when you have money.
You screaming 48 laws of power, right? This is what I'm reading today.
Yeah, yeah. That's a big ass book too.
That's that
Yeah.
33 Strategies of War. Robert Greene, the same author that you're referring to.
No, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm be honest. If I'm be really honest with you, this is true shit. What I notice about the 48 laws of power, it really is. If you're aligned, coming up with niggas, OGs that really fuck with you, like from when I came up, and just the cold to the street, then them 48 laws of power was the shit, and it was obvious to me. I'm gonna keep it all the way
It
1,000.
was just confirming what you already
It was just
naturally
confirmed.
do,
Absolutely,
right?
that's a good way to put it.
That part.
Because these niggas, and that's why I know that way was a great way, regardless of yes, selling drugs and what it does to the hood and that, but just the what you're going through, just the I'm saying, like the just like when you go to college or when you learn how to play football years and years and years, you are learning things out there to stay alive in them streets. And there are things that you have to be a thinker's man. It's not everything is guns and muscle. It's this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that too, but it's this. You know what I mean?
You always gonna get beat. You gonna get beat out by the thinker.
Absolutely.
It's not always the strongest man that wins the war. It's the one that can adjust. You feel me?
Adapt and adjust.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that part, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with the Steve, so what we doing with Stephen A. Smith? What we gonna get this boxing match? What we doing? Cause
I
you got
listen,
somebody else
bro. Listen,
proposition you to
listen.
fight too. Cause we gonna go to somebody else wants to fight too. So we not
Yeah,
gonna
but a
stop
lot of
there.
guys want to fight, man. But see, I'm only gonna, I'm 60. I'm not trying to get in there and fight. There's a lot of guys that fucking, that's what they do every day. You know what I'm saying? I got a little something with me, but I'm not no fool. But I know 3 rounds, if I can get me a couple of M's, I'm doing it. And I know I'll be able to get it with 50, Stephen A. I feel like I can get in with them. Both, yeah.
Word. I want to see you in
Yeah,
fifth. I want to see you in
absolutely,
Steve. I ain't
absolutely.
mad at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 3 rounds, 90 seconds. I mean, come on. If you can't get in there with 3 rounds with any man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Tyson's a different fucking story now. Tyson's a different story. You know what I mean? Like, Anthony Joshua's a way different story. These are different stories. But we talking just regular niggas and they over 50s. Yeah, why not?
So we still waiting on the 50 to sign that contract. And now
And
we
now
got
we got
Steve. Now we
Stephen
got
A.
Stephen A. Smith on the
Absolutely.
chopping block,
Absolutely,
so to
man. And
speak.
then announce the fight. Give us about 4 or 5 months for the fight. Announce it. I go train for 3 months in Vegas. And man, let's go. Let's fucking go. There'll
I
be
ain't
a
mad
lot
at
of
that.
shit.
Shout
There'll
out
be a
to
lot of shit
Curtis Jackson,
talking.
man.
3 months of shit talking, going back and forth. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of motherfuckers out there would love to see Zeno get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I know that they would make their day, but it's just not gonna happen. It ain't happened yet. So it ain't gonna
That
happen
part.
now.
It ain't
So, you
gonna
know what I
happen
mean?
now. At this age,
Yeah.
60, bruh. And you
Nah.
been out here.
But I chill.
Out
I
here.
chill.
Like my
Yeah.
dog said, out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
dog. My shout out
Yeah.
to Banging Blue Bullies, my nigga Ty. You heard me?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I see you out there challenging people, man. You 60, you still fit, you going to the gym. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know if 50 gonna take you up on the offer. I would love to see 50 even respond to that. You heard me? Shout out to 50 in the whole G unit. And Stephen A. Smith, I'm not even sure if Stephen A. Smith is certain a fighter per se. But
I mean, I
it's
seen him box.
always,
I seen him box. He said he
okay.
yeah, I seen him
But
box.
was he
You
that
know.
impressive? Because I think we did see something, right?
Listen, man.
We
Hey,
saw
listen, man.
something
It only takes 5 pounds of pressure in the, just a
right
couple
there.
of
That
plays.
jawline right here, right
And your
here,
temple line.
right
And your
here.
temple line.
You see
Yeah.
right here, somebody drawing
Yeah.
that chin right here.
It's over.
5 pounds.
5 pounds. Over. You going down.
Now listen, let's segue. There's a show that I've grown fond of. I think it's an offshoot of Cameron's. It is what it is. It's called Alienated,
Okay.
right? Recently, the host consists of Sin City. You remember Bird Gang, Sin City?
Yeah, yeah. Sin City.
Larry.
Sin City want to throw their